Hello, it's Dr. Wendy Rowley of the Wonder of Human Design YouTube channel, and this is a new playlist entitled Are You Ready for Your Next Growth Period? This is the first episode. My playlists and my channel are designed to take you on a journey. You kind of start at the first video, watch them through, they make sense that way. And it's not kind of like the normal YouTube platform where you can go to any video and get info. You can, but it might not always make as much sense as if you listen to the first to the last. It's kind of taking you on a journey, like reading a book. A book makes more sense when you've read the book from beginning to end, but you can open up and read a chapter, but you're kind of like, well, I feel a little lost. So the explanations and understanding and even energy work that might happen in the series goes in a particular sequence. So that's what my recommendation is for my channel, should you have stumbled or found your way to me in the algorithm or in the searching. Okay, so this is called, of course, what is a growth period? I'm going to give you my understanding of what a growth period is from the healer side. I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor. I've done energy work is the longest thing I've done, and I love it. And it gets at things that other people can't get at. I've seen cases where medical profession, there's nothing left to do, and they're down to eating 4 or 5 foods, and you clear that energy field, and all of a sudden, boom, they can go start eating more food again. It's a very interesting paradigm that can get at stuff where other things can't. Okay, so my understanding of a growth period is that, let's say I have a disharmony, and let's say it's an issue involving low self-esteem. And low self-esteem because I am not good enough. Okay, so let's say I have learned some tools where I can move my energy, and let's say I have moved some energy out of that stuck I'm low self-esteem because I'm not good enough. And what the soul does is the soul, so I at my level, have the ability to show my soul to move energy, and my spirit will follow that. You ever notice you get your pictures in dreams in your sleep? Pictures are how the soul communicates. And some people think, well, they're just mental image pictures. Oh, but they're very powerful. As a healer and a clairvoyant, you can put a mental image picture up on a screen with a client, and you have them put a particular way of working with the energy out. I describe it. It's called active meditation. I have a course on it. I do it in my events and things, and I give sort of little basics. And so let's say you're working with someone in this particular paradigm, and they've moved out some of these colors or frequencies or energies out of their spiritual body, interim spiritual body, where these disharmonies are held in their mental, emotional, and spiritual fields. And what you'll see is the soul is bringing in a beautiful, beautiful pastel, usually light-filled color of a different frequency, a different vibration. It might say, yes, you can, or you are divine, or it'll have a different kind of message contrary to the incorrect one. Some people call it the truth or the lie. What's my truth? What's the lie? I'm getting rid of the lie so my truth of my soul can come in. The growth period is what happens after that. Sometimes it's like, people describe it as like being a rewiring of your energetic system, of your consciousness. You can feel a little spacey, a little floaty. You might find there's moments where you're just not getting your chores done as well, but you're just sort of wanting to be out in nature and just sort of hang out. You can find you just sort of staring off into space. You could have lots of energy and do a ton of chores. It's different for everyone, but it's called a growth period, and it's considered that you are changing and you're growing and you're shifting into a new space, dimension, frequency, resonance, harmonic, octave, whatever it is, on whatever level that healing was on. And that's what's my understanding of what a growth period is, that you are literally growing with your soul and you are changing. Now, I'm going to share something else. You have your spirit and your body, And you have your physical body and you have your spirit body, an interim spirit body. And people think of that as being the spirit body with the 7 chakras in it, if you're not familiar with that, with an aura or energy shaped bubble or bioenergy field or whatever they want to call it around them. We know that the higher self's records are around your aura in that egg-shaped bubble. And your soul is really amazing that when it comes to incarnate. Above your head, and it's actually a space between your last incarnation and this one, is an area where there's a soul cell, a parental cell, a karmic cell, and it's called the working Akash. And your soul has taken things from your higher self's experience and put them up there, and these are what you're currently working on. And interestingly, when you clear something and you have the aha in that consciousness, and you have changed that old dysfunctional energy or past life energy or old ancestral energy or old belief system that you inherited from your family in this lifetime that doesn't work for you, that maybe isn't inclusive enough with love and other things in it, whatever it is, you have, oh gosh, I'm losing my train of thought. Give me a sec. You have growth periods. You have this ability to move this energy out, and the soul comes in, and then you have these things called growth periods. And I'm sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. I went off on a side tangent in my mind. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get this back together and bring Aliani in and see what she would like to say about growth periods. But my feeling were that they were the space after a healing when you're bringing in new energy and basically rewiring it. Oh, I was telling you about the system. So I'm sorry, I got it. So the higher self working Akash, of the things you're working on, are in there. And it's fascinating. An aspect of your soul called the Akashic Innate, while you sleep or whenever it happens, goes up, and it'll take that lesson, put it back in the general pool of all of your higher self's information, because you did it. And it might bring out another complex of something you can heal. So you can heal, you have a growth period, and you grow and you go through something, and then another wave will come in of something that needs to be looked at, or consciousness that needs to be changed, or old belief systems, or stuck energy, or whatever it is. Or even sometimes it's other people in your space, and you got to just move that out because you have a match, whatever it is. And so a match meaning you have the same disharmony. So the ability to sort of engage in a paradigm of working with your spiritual nature using some healing tools with your soul is possible. And that's what it is. It's like the soul brings something in to be healed. You finally figure out what it is. You breathe into the space it's in. Eventually that clears more and more, and it starts to reveal itself in meditation. Then the light of the soul can come in and heal it because your consciousness knows what it is 95% of the time. All you have to do is have the awareness. And then you're in a growth period where you go through that sort of new stage, and then meanwhile your soul's finding the next thing for you to work on. So it's a fascinating paradigm, and it comes in waves, and I've decided to do the work with it because to me it's no different than ordinary life. Because when I think about it, I have some good periods in my life, and then who knows what happens, and the next thing I know, I'm going through a tough time, or something's not working out in my own world, or people around me are sort of going through something and they're acting out, and I'm resonating to that. So in life, it almost feels like it's the same way. We're having a good period, everything's fine, we go into a bad period. We go into a good period, we go into a bad period, we go into a good period. So there's this dance going on. But having tools to work with your spiritual nature means I can get into those bad periods, and I can use them for my growth and awareness and healing, and take advantage of that. So I try to see the overlap of life within those ways. Okay, and there's lots of tools out there from different kinds of people. This is just the kind of set that I use that worked for me. So I work with those, and then we're bringing in some new tools in the work that I do. Okay, so on my website, I have an active meditation course with this kind of a paradigm in it, and I also have a course for women's resonance healing, and I'm bringing in women's resonance healing course, and then I'm bringing in a paradigm called women's resplendence healing, And that's all over the web. It's now down from 3 courses to 1. I'm sorry, that's all over the website. I just have to move some pages. It's going from 3 courses into 1. So my paradigm has gotten elegantly simple. There's a course and there's this live workshop. And so that's where I'm at. Okay, I'm starting to babble. So let's see what Alania says about growth periods, because maybe there's a lot more there than I ever was told, taught, or have seen. There you go. So it's only what I know today. Tomorrow might be different. Constantly open to learning, growing, and healing, and evolving. Oh, dearest beings of light, good day to you, good day to you, good day to you. I am Aliania of Cosmic Service. I am a Palladian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you. We are particularly happy this day because of the last seminar we just finished and an upgrade she got, she just blew a picture she couldn't get at before, which was fear of working with us. So we're very happy for that, because no one wants to be in their soul's mission being afraid of the journey. And there you are. Okay, so there's always healing somewhere, right? Okay, you're complex beings with amazingly complex recording abilities with your soul through your higher self. Okay, she wants to take a moment and get that hair out of the way. Okay, so we're going to talk about growth periods. And are you ready for your growth period? And this is a 10-part series, she forgot to say. And there will be some energy alignments and activations in it, like is normal for her work. And those titles have an asterisk or a little star on them. And we ask you, though, to still listen to the videos from the beginning to the end of the series, because there's implied energy, there's other information, there's things that make more sense. And believe it or not, your soul, you hearing this and registering this at a consciousness level, sends a message to your soul that you're going to have a different reaction in the activation had you not had the pre-information of understanding. And that's something to consider. Just going to leave that as a shout out to consider. Okay, for some of you who are trying to figure out if you just want to show up for the activations or you actually really want to hear the stuff. Okay, because it is different. Because you're coordinating, creating, evolving, and healing with your soul in every moment. So, what is a growth perspective from our side of the other side of the veil for those of us who are in the healing paradigms of humans that work on that level? And we just happen to work at a large level, at the grid noosphere level of your collective consciousness. We would say there are 3 aspects to a growth period. One is the one she described. I've healed something out. My soul has brought in something beautiful and new. And I'm kind of going through literally like a transition through a weird dimensional time and space shift into almost like, well, whether it's a new timeline, a new consciousness space, a new intuitive space, consciousness, intuition, and creation. It's going to be in one of those 3 spaces, a new energy coming in. Consciousness, creation, or evolution. Okay, relating to the 3 consciousness balls, that if you've been listening to the other series that's unfolding at the same time, and we've been saying, when you plug into this planet, you plug into Gaia consciousness, the Christ evolutionary healing force, and evolutionary consciousness, and the divine intelligence of the creative source consciousness. And that these consciousnesses relate to different aspects of your spiritual anatomy, and that these consciousnesses are now relating to growth periods. And that's what we're kind of moving into here. We're giving you a larger group explanation of what happens at a microcosm in your energy field, because we work at the group level. So you can have, and this one's like, oh, I'm trying to put it together as a puzzle. Which ball went to the other thing she just said? Let her get out of the way. Okay, so the consciousness balls and the 3 things that your soul will be bringing in. A new consciousness, a new, oh, she's like, oh, I'm forgetting already. Get out of the way. New information, she gets a little nervous. Okay, there she goes. New consciousness, new evolution, new healing. Well, we know that the Christ consciousness that you plug into is the Christ healing spirit body that's on the left side of your higher self's spirit body. And we know that that's where healing comes from, even the healing down to the level of healing cuts and things at the physical level. And so we know that that's where that's going to come through. Evolution is going to come through divine intelligence, because only divine intelligence can determine the state and the rate of evolution of a planetary system and the people on it. And your soul, at the group level, has to be in alignment with that divine intelligence, even to heal at the individual level. So alignment's very important. And so that would come through there. So that's healing and evolution. So consciousness change would come through Gaia. Fascinating. Our consciousness change would come through Gaia. Okay, so that's one kind of growth change. The soul is bringing in, she said, the new flavors to replace that which you took out, and it is bringing in a new consciousness, either a new consciousness, a new healing, a new deeper level of healing of the soul through the healing forces, or a deeper new level of soul through the divine intelligence forces, or a deeper new level of soul through the Gaia consciousness forces. And that's what we have to say that. Now we want the understanding that consciousness is in everything. But consciousness that's connected to your ancestral energy, the human consciousness grid, the interim Christ grid or interim soul creational grid, and the Christ grid or the soul mastery grid, these are pictures to describe different levels of energies that you are all enmeshed in. That energy, well, she's like, oh, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry, she's having a big day today, a lot of taping. Okay, so those trains of thought, you're fine, dear one. Those trains of thought are particularly different through the Gaia consciousness. It doesn't mean that the consciousness that's in that flower, we mean a particular type of consciousness. Okay, so we clarified that. Okay, so that's one type. There's another type of a growth period. Let's say you go to a large healing event and you sit with a bunch of people and you do healing work. And maybe you do some juicy upgrades or activations or realignments or recalibrations or whatever's going on with that particular group's work. That's another kind of a growth period. That's a growth period at the higher self interface between you as an individual and you and the group. So there's that level of growth period. And when you come home from those events, they feel larger. It feels like your growth period is larger. And they feel like they take longer to move through. And they do, because it's a larger energy field. And that works again through the same three consciousness balls that you're plugged into for healing, evolution, and creation. Or consciousness. Interesting. I just said creation and consciousness together. We're going to explain that in a second. And there's a third type of growth period. And that's when your consciousness expands and you are up in the noosphere level of the collective consciousness of everyone in the shifty creational levels there. And that's a growth period that happens at almost like a planetary change level, because it could be happening in any one of these major grids, and they are usually particular times in the Earth's evolution where this kind of work happens. And we've explained some of these experiences this one had, such as working through a particular astral space and hearing all the monks chanting, like she saw in Nepal. And she was told by a fellow that took her on that trip that they do that to put stabilizing vibrations in particular aspects of the astral spiritual fields that are hard for humans to move through in healing. And she's heard that. So there are ways to heal at the large group level and to put in benevolent vibrations through intention when you work with divine intelligence. And after you do that kind of work, that's another growth period. And that growth period is really different. That one lasts about 3 months coming and going, because that's sort of on the level of planetary work. And it affects paradigms, and it affects shifts, and it affects your interdimensional DNA, which is your soul's creational matrix, if we can say it that way, for ease. So that's another type of growth period. And you are in a great shift. You're in the middle of it. We've been saying it's about a 200,000 year period. But when you're in the middle of it, when all those planets align and all those sort of calendars align, there's usually a very juicy period where spirit comes in with a lot of information, the veil gets thinner, a lot of healing comes through, new healing paradigms come through, new information comes through, and a lot of setups are put in place for now and for pre-evolution and evolution in the future. And you're in one of those. So there is a lot of juicy group events going on around the world where you would have a large noosphere growth period. And those are going to increase and they're going to get larger. And that's what we wanted you to understand about growth periods, that you are constantly shifting and evolving and changing and growing, even though the things in your world might look very much the same right now. Your decision to go to a particular event or do something or say, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. That's old attitude. Keeps getting me in trouble with my friends when it percolates out and I know it's stuck. I don't know why it pops out of my mouth. If you're on a journey to do that, whatever it is, there's growth periods ahead for you, and those are rewirings, new information, beautiful light, your soul changing, and your innate shaking out that old lesson and bringing in a new one. And when you do it at the middle level that we spoke about, where the monks do it, you're putting in gold there that stabilizes people at other levels of development. And when you're doing it up at the noosphere, you're putting gold into the creational level for other groups to do juicy major work in the future. And when you do it at your individual level and do healing, you're putting gold up into your soul for the greater good of all. But why is there not gold stored up in the middle part, where people are putting particular vibrations based on divine intelligence, often through sound? They're all sitting there in a stupa or a monastery, and they're in their robes. They sit on the ground, and all they do all day is go, that is the soul mission of this particular group through divine intelligence. And that doesn't have a growth period, nor does it create gold. It's like a soul service work of a particular stage of evolution that they are in. And that's one way to explain that. But it does create a type of gold that when they get through that area, they have no problem at all. So that's the pay it forward in that middle system. You bring your awareness into a difficult space, you bring the intention of healing vibes and lots of beautiful energy into it to help stabilize others, that they may evolve, grow, and heal. And then when you go through that space, it's benevolent for you because you created gold in it. And believe it or not, you do that in meditation and healing all the time. Every time you go into a new space and you breathe your soul's forces into it and your consciousness comes into it, and over time it begins to clear, and you say, okay, I see, let's heal some stuff through there, and you take out some stuff and let that soul force come into that space, and your awareness in that space grows, your presence in that space grows, and you start to see, and what you always hold for is that aspect, where's the divinity of the Creator in this space? Why does the Creator have this space? What's here? What's the benevolence in here? And you hold that as your intention in all your work always going forward. I lift up and I'm looking for the creative source, the aspect of the Creator that is in that person, that is in that space, that is in that healing space I'm working forward in, that is in the space I am chanting in to create beauty for others to get through it in grace. To this space in the noosphere that I am working with this group, that I may create benevolence for the greater good of all, for others going forward, and a more beautiful and benevolent system for this planet. And you create a type of energetic vibration for yourself in that space that often goes far into the future, when it's one of those great periods like you're in now and you do that kind of work. So the system is beautiful, elegant, and designed, and there's 3 levels of growth periods. And it's your individual, the group for stabilizing forces, and then the group for higher gold to use at our higher group level when we all work together. And we've been painting a picture just recently of imagining that you all evolve to, and it's not, and this one's starting to think about, she started to watch E Pluribus on Apple Plus and found it a little bit scary. And she's like, I hope that's not what unity consciousness is like. It's not. But let's say you all evolve to a type of unity consciousness where you're aware that what you create, it becomes manifestational on the earth, and you're aware that of so many other things, and you're aware of your galactic family, and you're very evolved, and you are basically one consciousness, and you work together in a group meditation in one consciousness on your planet. Doesn't have to be at the same time, and you all are working together in conscious awareness in less dense physical bodies. So that's a paradigm of your planetary system. And that is so hard to imagine right now, but we want you to have that picture. Always looking for the creative source, the divinity, the love within anything that you are going through. Rise up. Know that there's goodness in all things, even when they look at their worst. Unless it's a human who's really choosing, with their free will, to operate out of darkness, and that can happen. And that's the human's choice. And you do have that free will choice on your planet. So, that's the paradigm as far as you have it in this moment now, but tomorrow will be different. This is Aliene of Cosmic Service, Pleiadian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you. And this is Dr. Wendy Rowley signing off from the first episode of this new series, percolating out once a week on YouTube. That'll go probably from the end of March up till about, I think we're in the first or second week of June. And there's 10 episodes in this one. And I suggest you listen to them in sequence. If you find that this is attractant to you and you're growing and feeling inspired by this, please like and subscribe. And comments are always welcome. I don't get much, though, because this is pretty far out. Thanks so much.